So today I wanted to talk to a lot of the new subscribers we've picked up. We did a video where we ran a window AC, like this one, with running just 2 solar panels. And we picked up a lot of subscribers with that. And that was something that we started 4 years ago when we just started getting into solar and didn't know anything about it. So we had bought one of these charge controllers, one of these modified sine wave inverters, a Walmart battery down there, and started running an air conditioner in the shed. And then after we did that for about a year, we kept that system, but we moved on to this 24 volt all-in-one inverter that could handle up to 3,000 watts of input and 2,400 watts output. And we started running mini splits like this off of that. And this was a great option. It's only 120 volts. This was a 12 volt system over here, so we could only use 12 volt battery system. And we did later on add on and put 4 batteries in parallel, just like we have those AGMs in parallel. We ended up doing that as well. So we moved from the lead acid to the AGMs, and then we moved to this, and then we ended up buying a second one, a third one, and a fourth one, to where we had almost 10,000 watts in parallel sharing the current. And we were able to run all 5 of the mini splits that we have, 2 upstairs, 2 downstairs, and this one in the garage. That's a 18,000 BTU, 230 volt, and that's a 120 volt mini split. And the one thing that I did with my mini splits at first was I attached, instead of hardwiring, I used an extension cord, a 10 gauge extension cord, so that I could just plug this in, plug that in to one of my solar outlets that I have out here in the garage. I have a set over here, and a set back here. And we were able to run that, just those mini splits in the garage. The 120 volt mini splits, 12,000 BTU in the garage, upstairs and downstairs off of solar. Just doing that, and we cut our electric bill by 60% out here in Phoenix. And it kept us between 70 and 78 degrees, depending on how hot it got. This last year, with the temperatures staying 110 to 118 for 2 months, we were able to keep it around 75 to 78 degrees with the mini splits. But now we are running our central upstairs air conditioner, and we can run our central downstairs air conditioner both at the same time using this 12 kilowatt grow watt inverter that's low frequency, and that thing weighs like 186 pounds. This is a 6 kilowatt one. This weighs like 109 pounds. And you need something like that in order to run central AC units. You also have to put soft starts on them because they're drawing too much current. The 3.5 ton was drawing about 78 amps at inrush to start up. And it was too much, and it overloaded both of these. But as soon as I put a soft start on them, which they cost like $250, I was able to use either one of these to start it up. Same thing with my 4 ton. I could start it up with this 6 kilowatt grow watt. But you need something like that to run your central air conditioning unit, and that's what that's for. This is for running the house central air conditioning and the mini splits all throughout the house and in the garage. That one I can run off of this one, but this one is direct wired into this through this panel over here. And I can't plug that one in. I could take it off of a plug and plug it in if I wanted to. I actually do have a plug. No, I think I took the plug off. Oh no, I still have a plug down here. So if I wanted to, I could run a plug out of there over here, and I could run this off of that one as well. But this one is basically for this air conditioner in the garage and to run the washer and dryer. And I just use it for that. And then this one over here is used for running our 3 freezers, 1, 2, 3 freezers, and this refrigerator. And then we run lights, and we run our pool pump 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what this one is right here. And we run that 365 days a year running that pool pump off of this system over here. So I have 3 separate systems set up here. If I just wanted to run my air conditioning in my house using all the mini splits, even in the garage, I could run everything off of this one right here. But I would either have to be running my 3.5 ton and 4 ton at the same time, or run my 3.5 ton, and then I could run a combination of the ones in the house and out here if I wanted to. This will handle up to 12,000 watts, but you don't want to get close to that peak on that. It'll greatly shorten the life of this thing. So, and that's one of the reasons why I have it split up between others. But this one will start your 3.5 ton, 4 ton. I even have a 12.7 ton heat pump for my pool heater. We are all electric at my house. We do not have propane or natural gas. I can even start it up and run that off of this. That's like the 3.5 ton, the 4 ton, and add another 5 ton to it, and starting those up at the same time. It's like 186 inrush amps to start that thing up. It's on 250 amp breakers in my main breaker. But in here, we just have it on, I'm sorry, yeah, it's 250 amp breakers together. So I have it in here, this breaker, that I can run that pool heater, and that's insane. That thing uses like 7,500 to 8,500 watts. But in the wintertime, it's so nice out here. I mean, it might get down into the 30s and 40s overnight for an hour or two, maybe 3. But it quickly goes back up again during the day, stays in the 60s, 70s, 80s in the winter. And not that often do we get down into the 40s and 50s, but maybe in late February or late January and February. But when the pool water is in the 40s and 50s from the overnight temperatures, this thing can get it up to 87 to 89 degrees running that pool heater outside. And I also have a little 17,000 BTU pool heater that I can run. Now, in June, we ran our air conditioning completely using solar during the day and this 25.5 kilowatt EG4 battery bank, lithium iron phosphate batteries, and we spent 0 on air conditioning in June. Now, July, we got into where we went above 110 degrees every single day, up to 118. So we decided to run it off of solar during the day and grid at night. So I ended up paying an extra $100. My electric bill went from a normal $100, not using, it was $101 in June, using solar and battery 100% of the time for June, not using any grid power. So that's just the wife using the cooking, the laundry inside, and hot water heater, watching TV and everything else. So our electric bill was $100. So for July, it's going to be double. It's going to be $200, which a $200 electric bill out here, or actually just spending $100 on air conditioning out here, is insanely cheap. Most of my neighbors are $600 to $1,000 a month in the May, June, July, August, September, October months. And we decided, because it was so hot during the day, 115, 116, 117, and 118 degrees, the wire was heating up so much. And the hotter it is outside, the more amps and watts you're going to use. So we ended up seeing a big spike in that, and didn't want to overload the system because we don't have to. For $25 a week to run my air conditioner and keep the house at like 72 to 74 overnight while we're sleeping. And we don't run our downstairs air conditioner at all at night. We super cool it during the day, get it down to about 74 degrees. And it's like 78, 79 degrees in the morning, even when it's still 100 and 110 degrees out at 8 o'clock at night, and still in the 90s when you get up in the morning at 6 o'clock. So we really just run our main upstairs air conditioner if we do run it off of this. So if I wanted to run my upstairs air conditioner overnight when it's getting up in that range of 112 to 118, I would probably need to make this from a five of these 5120 volt, 100 amp hour, 5120 watt hour. I'd probably go to 6 or 7. When it was 112 degrees out during the day and it was getting down to 92 to 95 at night, I was able to run it overnight, but I was down to 30% on this. And then it took me till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon to charge the batteries back up because of clouds. We didn't get rain, but we got clouds. And that made it, instead of being charged by 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning with full sunshine, as soon as the sun rises, that made it hard to get that charged up until like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So now it's dropping back down again, and we're going to go back to where we're going to use this overnight, because our highs are only going to be like 105, 106. So as long as you're like 110 degrees or less during the day, and you can drop down to 85 at night, you could run this system here in Southwest in Arizona, Vegas, whatever. And you'd probably still have around 40 to 50% of your battery bank overnight. But when you start getting up to where you're above 110 degrees, and then you're staying in the 90s overnight, you're going to go down pretty low. Now, if you have a open field or yard where you get direct sunshine and you have like 6 to 12,000 watts of solar panels where they're going to get full sun in the morning, you can charge this thing up pretty quickly, probably by like 9 or 10 o'clock. You don't have to worry. But mine are dispersed. I have a 2-story house. I have 3,500 watts on the east side of the house, and then the rest of it to supply this. The other 8,500 watts is probably after 10 o'clock is when I start getting the full 8,500 watts. But before that, I'm only getting like 6,000 watts. And it's takes a little while. So if you don't get over that 110 degrees and you're staying in the mid 80s overnight, 5 batteries, 6 batteries will do great for you. You'll be fine. But when you start getting in extreme weather out here in Arizona, like we did, we went 2 months, I think like 60 days where it got over 110 degrees during the day. And when it does that, that overnight temperature keeps rising to where it stays up in the mid 90s overnight. And that's going to run your air conditioner all night long. So you're going to deplete it quick. Now, if you have a mini split system that is multi-room and you have one outside unit and it feeds up to 5 heads, that's going to run a lot less. Like on this, we have a 4-ton air conditioner downstairs, but when we use this mini split to cool this area all the way down there, it's like 50 some feet, close to 60 feet. And then we use the mini split up here and it cools, that's 18 feet up there. This is a great room. And it cools this entire room over here. What I also do is I turn this fan on like at half speed, like 3 or 4. And on this remote, goes up to 6. So I'll put it on like 3 or 4 and I'll pull this cooler air up there and it helps cool up there because I'm running that on solar all day long. And now I'm going to start running it on battery bank overnight again, because now we're dropping down in the 100 to 105 range. So these 2 mini splits can keep this downstairs right now at the temperatures of 100 to 105. They can keep it at like 68 to 72 degrees during the day. So by the time 6 o'clock hits, I'll be like 68, 70 degrees on this thermostat right here, just running those 2 mini splits. And those will use half the amount of watts as the 4-ton downstairs air conditioner is why I use that. Then I can actually, while I'm running the 3.5-ton upstairs and these 2 mini splits downstairs, I can actually run this one down here as well off of this unit just by plugging it in to this outlet, which goes into this 12 kilowatt panel here. I have an outlet switch breaker right here. So for those people that just started watching the channel, we started out with this running the window air conditioner right here, 5,000 BTU. This is a different one. The other one's actually in the shed. And I've got stuff piled up, you can't see it. And we started out with this, and now we've ended up with this. And we actually have, like I said, 3 separate systems, and they all do different things around the house. So our electric bill, if we didn't have solar, would be about $6,000 a year. With the off-grid solar, it is right around $1,000 a year. So we're saving right around $5,000 a year on our electric bill, and it is very nice. Everything runs. It's almost to the point where I can just leave all this stuff on. These consume a lot overnight. I usually turn this one off because this is on AGM batteries over here. If I just leave this on and run nothing, it'll be fully charged at like 53 volts for a 48 volt system. But when I get up in the morning, it'll be down to like 46, 47, running no load whatsoever. These are hogs overnight as far as how much they use. The reason why I run my 3 freezers and my fridge and my pool pump on this is it only uses like 25 to 35 watts overnight on standby or while you're running a load. It really does not use that much. These can use as much as 200 watts. And then when those fans kick on, like that one just did, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that'll add to it. That'll add like another 40, 50 watts. So you can run 250 watts just in standby mode, not running a load. But it does work okay. I mean, I haven't found anything else that I could run my air conditioners and my pool heater. And that's the downside to these, is the amount of power in standby mode that they use overnight. They do tend to be like a hog and use a lot. So anyways, just want to let you know, this month, we're going to go back. So for the rest of the year, we'll be able to run our air conditioner during the day and overnight. And if I wanted to, I have 2 mini splits upstairs, one in each of the bedrooms. I have 4 bedrooms upstairs. 2 of them don't have them. which is why I run the central air upstairs. Uh, if I wanted to, I could run one mini split downstairs and two mini splits upstairs and probably use about the same amount of power as using the 3.5-ton air conditioner. So just wanted to give you a little idea that we're no longer running that. We could, but we're no longer using this. This is what we used to start out just to learn solar off grid. Like I said, we moved to this. We kind of actually moved to that one. Then we moved to the 12 kilowatt and the 6 kilowatt. We had another one in here, but we took it out. We don't need it anymore. So we really, like I said, this is for air conditioning the house. This is for air conditioning garage and doing laundry. And we do baking out here too. We have a full sink setup where we can use this like a summer kitchen so the other kitchen doesn't get hot if we want to. And then this is for the running 24 hours a day of the freezers and fridges. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you. Please like, share, subscribe. Hope you have a truly wonderful and extremely blessed day. We'll see you in the next video.